I kind of spoiled a future area earlier. I, unfortunately, for the sake of bean collection, actually have to spoil another future area here in the Chucklehuck Woods, but I'm only going to be going in and out of it for beans, so...
Tons of foreshadowing here. Picking up quite the coinage, too.
Oh, yeah. Take a look at our chubby, obese Koopa. Get him out of the way. Yeah, you guys are no slouches. He doesn't put up much of a fight afterwards. He's just like, oh, I got knocked over. Okay, I guess you can go through now. I'm curious if that's actually an occupation in the Bean Kingdom. Roadblock. Are you a big Koopa and you know it? Apply to become a roadblock today. And I mean, if you think about it from their perspective, they're being paid to block roads just with their own body? That's excellent pay. Or even if it isn't excellent pay, you're essentially paid to do nothing but stand in the middle of a road, blocking it.
Kind of sucks though, you get hit in the stomach, it's like, ugh, was it worth it?
You guys are no slouches.
They got a smaller body to roadblock here.
I don't think that one's being paid, he's just trying to guard his tribe. Now I have to wonder all these obese Koopas that we're finally knocking down. Are they all going to get bad performance reviews, or maybe because all their peers got knocked down on the performance review, they'll be like, oh, you all got knocked down and someone got past you? Shoot, it's either shoot, we need to improve our employees, or shoot, we need to fire everyone and close the company down. Roadblock Incorporated.
So where does the money come from to pay the employees?
Investors?
What could they possibly expect in return?
Blocked roads. Like you could probably expect, but bombs are weak to fire, though it's not an instant set them off, it's just a critical hit, so I was hoping for an instant blow up, and maybe Mario getting blown up for attempting to do that, but no, not quite.
If we're going by 1,000-year door logic, they're also weak to slow strokes.
Yeah. On the bright side, this isn't like instant death, especially since, there's that dizzy status ailment I was actually talking about. It is in this game, it's just way harder to trigger, like almost nothing in the game actually triggers it, but... Yeah, Luigi can't move.
Yeah, the trick with the bob-bombs is you actually have to hit the ground slightly in front of them to trip them. It's a particularly difficult dodge.
I didn't know that.
At the very least, counterintuitive. If you hit them, you're likely to get dizzy.
I did not know that. Welcome back to the Woohoo University, where, as you can see, this university is in desperate need of funding. They still haven't gotten any of the students or faculty back to normal, and the university is still, like, in shambles.
All of the money is going towards those blocked roads, there's none left for education.
Maybe if they would teach the residents of the Bean Kingdom, they could get better jobs than roadblockers. Oh gosh.
If there is a job like a roadblock, maybe they don't need the higher education funding.
Depends on how much the roadblock blockers get paid, wow. Oh gosh. But yeah, this university, like, I don't think Bean Castle, like, they're too busy spending money on Prince Peasley's hair, so I just really think they need some form of a donation drive. Desperately. we need the Beanie Research donation drive to make Woohoo University, compete with Ugoom University again.
Well, it probably also has something to do with their, ridiculous exchange rate. It's like, who the heck's gonna be able to help them?
Alright, anyway, I did actually want to pause to show this Eker again, just because I wanted to show the tells again. I mentioned in the first video I cannot see what the tells are, but actually you watch how many times they wave, and then you watch the amount of times they wave is the amount of times they rock back and forth before they come at you to attack you, which I guess can be an easy tell once you notice it, just...
It's too much hassle to go through to avoid,
I always thought it was that, but it doesn't seem like that lines up all the time. Because they can shake like 1 to 3 times. I don't think they bob that many times afterwards. Also, nice dodge.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's a lot of just hidden chuckle beans by these statues that I just flat out missed when I was here at the university last time that I now need to get. And oh, hey there, virus.
I think that was a first strike.
It was.
Wow.
It indeed was. I even got a mild pepper out of that. Okay, it would kind of help if I had the bro that can go underground. There we go. Much better. So I guess the Bean Kingdom, terrible economy. Now I have to actually... I want to read an academic essay on the comparison between the Mushroom Kingdom economy and the Bean Kingdom economy, just because I feel like it'd be a very fascinating thing to read. Because I think both economies are kind of crap. In the Mushroom Kingdom, you know, all the money's in the blocks. The Bean Kingdom kind of follows a similar model, because I mean, there's a lot of money in blocks too.
To be fair, I don't think they have their visitors going and hitting those very often. I think Mario Bros are a bit out of the ordinary in that regard.
Oh, they are special. Here we go. This is actually a pretty cleverly placed bean when I look at it. It's in the eye of the dead fish.
Another one you're very unlikely to get just because you're normally approaching a cutscene. And this one you're like never going to find because you're in a cutscene the entirety of the time you're in this screen for the first time.
Indeed. There we go. Chuckle bean. Going up to Little Fungi Town. I can't help but think maybe I have a theory now. Little Fungi Town is up here in the sky, like, you know, multiple stories up high. You know, not for the sake of living on top of mushrooms, but because they're so high up the top of the ground, they're a tax shelter. They avoid the Bean Kingdom's taxes by living this high up off the ground that they're actually not quote-unquote part of the kingdom. It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, how else do they get away with selling ultra mushrooms? Which, by the way, these are extremely useful healing items for me at my current level and going forward, so I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy a lot of ultra mushrooms. I've spent like almost half my money on ultra mushrooms. And if my theory is right, none of that money is being taxed and going to the prince's hair, so win for everyone, right?
I mean, they're giving you the full 50% off, so I mean, at least they're not hoarding it all.
Alright, but actually earlier, when I was just in Little Fungi Town the first time, I actually did manage to get all the beans up there, so not a whole lot hidden there.
I can't believe you missed this one. You had to be mini to get to that flame. Did you just swim right over that? It seems like I always hit that one accidentally.
I think I walked around it, and I never got the exclamation point, so it's like, oh. Yeah, that's one that I guess you would normally just run into. And I didn't. Anyway, now we're back. Oh, this place is familiar. This is actually where we were last part, Guahar Lagoon. A couple of beans that I missed here just because I was more concentrating getting through the dungeon than anything else. Ooh, I probably should have just taken the entrance exit pipe instead of going through the ocean again. But I would like to file a complaint with this lagoon. Theoretically, like you saw the beach babes and I mean Hermie the Third and everything else here. Theoretically, this is supposed to be like a resort. This place is deadly. This lagoon, this beach is not safe to vacation at. Would you like to go to a beach where you had a whole bunch of gritty Goombas and Boomerang Bros attacking you? Or maybe it's their vacation to the beach now that I think about it. And we're ruining their vacation. This is one I probably should have gotten. The one, specifically the one before and the one after. In both of the fire rushing areas, there's some beans that are, I guess, kind of hitting, but ones that I probably should have been able to pick out and figure out. You notice the first one was by like 3 rocks. The second one, I mean, look at that. That kind of stands out. Stars.
You're kind of dashing by at 50 miles an hour, so I can't half blame you.
And then I missed the block at the end somehow and missed the minigame. Okay, on the good news, everyone. Once I get this one Who Bean, let's take a look at our bean counts. You'll notice I have 36 Chuckle Beans and 26 Who Beans. Yay!
Woohoo!
You might be wondering, how is that significant? Well, I have enough beans, enough Who Beans, enough Chuckle Beans, plus 1 to make the final drinks. And I guess that was a deliberate decision by you, JD, to make it so you have just enough plus 1, correct?
Yeah, originally I had just 35 of the Who Beans, and I don't know if it was just because of complaints I had gotten or whatnot, because I highly doubt too many people went for getting all of them, but there's the one that you can only get when you're playing alone as Luigi, and I feel like it was kind of mean to make you have to get that one.
Oh, missable items are terrible.
It's not permanently missable, but it makes the other thing permanently missable if you miss it.
Oh, conditionally permanently missable items. Anyway, I want to make sure I make the right blend. For whatever reason, I have the fear that I'm going to come into this cafe and then make the wrong drink and screw myself over. I don't think you actually can do that, just I have that fear. But let's take a look at Gadd's new invention here. He's a ghost.
I thought he was wearing his Rosalina cosplay. I didn't know what the heck.
Years ahead of his time.
This will get us a very nice bow tie. That's a bonus ring.
Yeah, what?
I got the bonus ring that looks like a bow tie.
Yeah.
I actually have to double check. I want to look at the items on the inventory. I haven't yet, but you said they do look correct in the inventory, JD. It's just when you get them, they were wrong.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, like the graphics that appear and the sound that plays when you get an item for the first time doesn't quite match what it actually is.
I'm pretty confident that bow tie was actually supposed to be the cobalt necktie or bow tie or whatever you call it. But just to go over the items, the bonus ring makes it if you have it equipped and you don't take damage in the battle, you get double experience. Which is pretty cool. And this bad boy, the Game Boy Horror SP. Now we can play games while we're no. Plus, for completing all the drinks, we get Gadd's picture in his own cafe.
Oh, what a great reward.
I think it stinks.
Hey, it's the biggest appearance he'll get for like the next 10 years, so.
It was big back in the day, that's for sure.
I'm just gonna make a couple of woohoo blends just because I have the beans for it. Yes, just make me a whole bunch of woohoo bean blends. Anyway, JD Aster, I'll let you explain the Game Boy Horror recipe.
Okay, yeah, I don't recall how much of this I went into before. But basically, each enemy in the game has two different types of item drops. Their normal drop and then their alternate drop. Normally an enemy has a variable chance of dropping their normal drop. Something between like 3 and 7 out of 30 is how it is in the game. But like, fairly common, but like not all the time. If you wear the Game Boy Horror SP, they always will drop their alternate drop, as opposed to dropping their normal drop some of the time. And Swing Brothers, it gives you a chance of getting either one of them, and the chance of getting each one is dependent on their internal, like, drop rates. Like, even though Game Boy Horror SP makes the second drop always drop, like, it still has, like, a chance of dropping in its code.
Oh, okay. But more importantly, like, you finish a battle. Let's just say I theoretically finish a battle against a boss that I only fight once, and it has a normal drop and an alternate drop. I can always get the alternate drop with the Game Boy Horror SP.
Unfortunately, for those who think that, and maybe this was just a stupid thing for me to do, but After this point of the game, like right after you finish getting the beam star, I swapped the drops so that the normal drop is the one that is the rare one that's a piece of equipment or something, and it's only got like a 1 in 30 chance of dropping. So you have to use Swing Brothers in order to get it. Pretty much have to use Swing Brothers to get him from there on out.
Oh. So you'll be seeing lots of Swing Brothers in the future, everyone.
I mean, it's
That's what I
totally
got
it's
from
totally
that.
worth it. The item drops get really good on the bosses from here on out.
Okay, but yeah, Game Boy Horror lets us get other things, which is pretty cool. It'll let me get something pretty shortly, actually. I think that actually might come up next part. But before we exit, nothing new purchasable.
Yeah, the one other thing you can do with the Game Boy Horror SP, normally all the enemies in the Bean Bean area, like just the castle outskirts, drop Woo Beans. But with the Game Boy Horror SP equipped, depending on what quadrant of them they most appear in, they'll drop one of the 4 types of beans, always. So that way you can
Wow.
get the type of drink you want to raise like a particular stat a ton easier.
Oh my gosh, I can farm all those hidden beans now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes! Yes! No more digging in the ground and looking for invisible bean blocks. Although I'm not going to be making any more beanie drinks, so... Oh well. If you guys are not a bean by the end of this video, you have a very strong immune system because this video was made to turn you into a beanie.
That sounds really scary.
Look at your hands. Are they beans?
Ah!
After all, you are in the Bean Kingdom. Okay, maybe I should get Evil Pop-Tart back here to do the jokes. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Let's Play Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga Plus. This has been Milesluigi.
And Higsby.
And JD Easter 64.
Thank you both of you. Take care and have a great day.